I have a hilarious story to tell you. Happy week 3 of Camp NaNoWriMo, everybody. I hope it was great for you. Today is actually day number 1 of week 4 of Camp NaNoWriMo, and I have a hilarious story to tell you. So I went throughout the whole 3rd week of Camp NaNoWriMo, and to be honest, I didn't vlog that much, but I did vlog some. I vlogged myself making these like sugar-free s'mores treats that turned out to be actually really gross. I recorded a bunch of videos, and I just got finished editing all of those videos, and I was about ready to post my vlog to the internets for your enjoyment, and then I deleted everything by mistake. Yes, everything. It's all gone except for 2 vlog entries that you will see here today. So this is gonna be a short vlog, but that might be a good thing because my other vlog video was way too long, and to be honest, the best parts were not deleted. So the last 2 entries, that's all you really need to see. So enjoy. I hope that your week went great and that you didn't have any disgusting recipe mishaps like I had. So this morning, as I was writing this scene. It was dialogue between 2 characters, the protagonist and another character. And I just suddenly was having all these epiphanies as I was writing. A bunch of stuff that I was having a really hard time figuring out pretty much as long as I've been writing this book. For example, the main protagonist, I've kind of had a vague idea of what it is that she wants and what she thinks she wants, because a lot of the time they're not the same thing, and for her it's not really the same thing. But I haven't really been able to like solidify in my mind exactly what it is that she wants and how she's going to get it in the end either. So I haven't been really sure how I'm going to end the book, which has made me nervous the closer I get to the end, that I'm just like biting my nails because I don't really know exactly what's going to happen. I don't know how I'm going to tie all these loose ends together. And then also I realized last week during that time that I was getting really discouraged. One of the reasons I was discouraged, aside from life stuff that was happening, was that I finally came to accept the fact that I'm going to have to rewrite the beginning of the book. So I wrote 50,000 words in November, and I'm going to need to scrap a lot of them. I know this is not new for a lot of writers. A lot of writers have to do this. A lot of people write 50,000 words in November and then have to scrap most of them. Most of those words don't end up in their books. And last week, I kept hearing this idea going around YouTube of people who were saying that NaNoWriMo and Camp NaNoWriMo are a waste of time because it's all about quantity over quality and your book deserves better than that. So here's what I have to say on that subject. Aside from being a really pessimistic way to look at things, I don't think it's true at all. Yes, about probably most of the words I wrote in November are not going to end up in my book in the end. Maybe none of them will, honestly. After editing and everything is said and done, maybe none of those words I wrote are going to end up in the book. So was it all a waste of time? Was it all for nothing? Absolutely not. I don't think so. All the stuff that I wrote in November was a lot of backstory that some of it I knew was probably not going to end up in the book, but it was stuff that I kind of needed to know about my protagonist. And a lot of that stuff I wrote in November came into play in what I was writing today, in the conversation that these 2 characters were having. And I realized, oh, maybe this will end up in the book after all. It's a good thing I wrote that in November because now I know this about this character. So in my mind, those 50,000 words I wrote in November, even if not a single one of them ends up in the book, all of them helped me to get my book where it is today. All of them helped move the story forward so that I got to this place today where everything was able to click into place. And these things didn't click into place as I sat around twiddling my thumbs and thinking, oh, waiting for the inspiration gods to strike me with all the answers that I sought for my story. It didn't happen that way, and it never does for me. Well, okay, every once in a while I'll have a moment when I'm thinking about my book and I'll be like, oh, you know, and things will come to me, as they do for all of us. But the majority of the time that happens because I was just writing earlier that day, or something I wrote that day brought up a question that I realized I needed an answer to. And as happened today, a lot of the time, most of the time it happens as I'm writing another scene. Often it's dialogue between characters as they're getting to know each other better, I'm getting to know them better, and then that kind of makes other things click into place. So what I want to say is that don't listen to those people who are like, oh, you're writing a bunch of words that you're not going to put in the story in the end, you're going to have to scrap those, it's a waste of time. It's totally not. I mean, it can be if all you care about is reaching 100,000 words and so you're copying and pasting things from some article you saw online. If you were doing that with your NaNoWriMo, of course it's a waste of your time. But if you're writing words that are helping you figure things out, get to know your characters better, figure out your plot, it's totally not a waste of your time. You're not going to get quality words by sitting around thinking about them. You're going to get quality words by writing words. And first you're going to write a bunch of crappy words, and then you're going to take those crappy words and you're going to turn them into really good words. But you can't turn it into anything if you don't have words to start to begin with, you know? Ooh, it's getting hot in here. I need to head into work. But another thing I've been thinking about, I've been watching a lot of Janet Greaves videos lately. If you haven't watched her, you should. I just listen to her while I'm working. She's just she's a really sweet writer, and I love hearing the way she talks about her characters, like they're her best friends, and like when she writes about them, she has all these aha moments when she's like, oh, I guess she didn't want to do that. This is the way we're going now. All right. You know, because her characters are real to her. So they have real opinions about things and things that they want to do. And I think that way about my characters too. I think we all kind of do to some extent, but I don't hear other people talk about it that much. And she always does. Every time I listen to her videos, I love it so much that she is like the perfect example of what we feel as writers that we don't know how to express, which is how real our characters are to us and how much they really take the reins of the story when you get going. And I think when you think of your book that way, and when you're writing your characters and just having fun with them, your words will just get carried away with you, and you'll end up writing a bunch of words, and maybe none of them will see the light of day, but all of them are helping you to create this world and to figure out problems. And speaking of characters, how can we expect our characters to go through all these complex twists and turns in a story if we're not willing to go through that ourselves in the first place? We may be the creators, but we still have to figure out their path just as much as they're going to have to figure it out. Just like your characters are going to start on the wrong path and have to backtrack and find the right one, you need to expect to have to do that yourself as a writer, even as an outliner. I am an outliner, and I outline everything before I write it, but even with my outlines, it's still a journey. That's why we call it a writing journey. It's a journey. There's going to be twists and turns. There's going to be things that you don't expect. There are going to be times when you spend a long time going down one path only to realize it's not the right one. Then you'll have to backtrack, try another one, and that's okay. Have fun with it. We're writing. Writing is fun. This is why we do it. We love this stuff. So just enjoy the journey. Allow yourself to get lost. Allow yourself to wander along paths that you're not quite sure about to figure out what the right ones are. The beginning of my book that I wrote that is the wrong beginning, I would never have known that was the wrong way to start if I hadn't written it out first. Because I wrote several versions of the first chapter, and then I finally picked one that I liked the best, and I went with that. And now, after being a little further than the middle of my book, now I'm looking back on that, and now that I know what my ending is going to be, I'm realizing, okay, that was the wrong way to go, but I'm really glad I wrote it out because now I know that. And now I have a better idea of what the right way is, and maybe the idea I have in my head of the new right way to start my book is not the one that's going to end up in my book, the finished book anyways, but maybe it will. So the point is, we're all learning, we're all growing. And if you're feeling discouraged during this Camp NaNoWriMo because you keep having this thought that you're wasting your time writing a lot of words that are not going to end up in your book in the end, don't worry about that. Just have fun with your characters. Have fun writing. Have fun being a part of this challenge that so many other writers are also a part of. Have fun just being part of this community. It's awesome. Let's just have fun with it. I'll see you guys later.
Okay guys, so I realized I never actually showed you how my sugar-free s'mores experiments turned out. So here's one right here. This is what it looks like. It's pretty cute, no? They're gross. They're not gross, they're just not very good. I think we just overdid it on this sweetener in the past, and so now my husband and I are like really sensitive to the sharp taste it has, so we don't like it. But the chocolate's good. Anyway, so I realized I did not vlog very much this week. I apologize, but I did a lot of writing. I was really into my writing this week, and I got a lot done, so that was really good. Today is Sunday, so it's the first day of week 4. Woohoo! We made it this far! And I wrote every day this last week. I wrote every day of week 3 up until yesterday. I did not write anything yesterday. I'm still a little bit behind. Now I'm more behind and have some more catching up to do. But we actually have a holiday. It's like a state holiday coming up next week where I'll get the day off work. I actually had never really heard of another state having like a state holiday that's treated like a national holiday where everything is closed, the banks are closed and everything. But we have Pioneer Day next week. So that's like, anyways, you guys will see that in my vlog next week. So I'm planning on using that day to do some catching up. But this week went well. I'm doing good. My writing's coming along nicely. And yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to say. So I'm just gonna try to hurry up and edit this video and get it up. And I will see you guys next time. Let me know in the comments below how your week 3 went. We'll see you. Bye.
Would you come and take a walk with me? We'll cross over the mountains and we'll reach the pale blue sea. I love you, I'm so glad you love me too. And I wrote this song for you.